started live streaming. Live stream start ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ.
Okay.
Okay, I'll place for recording, sir. 1 or 2 minutes you can trim it.
Venkatesh Babu, sir.
Really, Karthik?
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
No, we are all audible. Everything is in place.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Only thing is we are waiting for login the participants.
Yes, only 6 are there.
Because we will wait for a few minutes. Because all our engineers know they will take a break and come back to this online. Yesterday almost 50 reached, Sanath?
Yes, sir.
I think Karthik having a big team backside. Your students also can log in at least. They are watching through mobile.
They are all sitting in front, sir.
No, ask them to log in.
I'll log in, sir. Okay.
Let me share. Log in through mobile.
No, sir, because there will be echo.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because only 6 are there, they are worried. Okay.
Sir, we can start, sir.
You will admit now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the time now?
4-2.
Okay, just 1 minute. 20 class will start. Sir, directors are not joined, no? Sir, I am audible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. So good evening to all present here. I am very happy and honored to welcome this upskilling program on construction management and engineering economics. This is the 43rd lecture organized by the Skill Center, VISVESVARAYA Skill Center from Moddenahallि. I am very happy and honored to welcome all the participants and today's speaker, Mr. Karthik Patel. He was my student and also a former colleague, and is a research guide also. I'm very happy and honored to welcome speaker of the day, Mr. Karthik Patel. He is working as a senior engineer at Sathya Sai University at Untitled, and also he is taking care of the Gulbarga campus. A new campus is coming up beautifully at Gulbarga. He is in charge of many of the construction activities, and also welcome all the participants, CMTRI trainees, and also I welcome Nirmiti Kendra engineers and their project directors on behalf of the Skill Center and director and my own. I welcome you, all of you, for this lecture on smart cities, the planning of smart cities. You all know that the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister has created this buzzword, what is meant by smart cities. And a lot of budget support is given as smart cities. They have identified almost more than 100 plus smart cities. Already many of the smart cities, 30 to 40% work is completed and going very well in progress. And see, what are the advantages, disadvantages? See, this is one of the image building activity of the country also. The smart cities will build image to the country. How the cities, always we are appreciating only foreign cities. So now India, within no time, we are going to get that impression. It is an advantage for all of us. And I am very happy and honored to welcome Karthik Patel. Thank you, Karthik Patel, for accepting our invitation and spending your time with us to share some of our thoughts on smart cities. He already addressed many platforms on smart cities. He was working with me as a colleague. He has addressed many occasions and also has handled the subject on smart cities also. I welcome Karthik Patel for this online guest lecture, and also welcome all of you. Before going to the talk on smart cities, a brief introduction about Karthik Patel. See, Mr. Karthik Patel is a young and passionate human being, more than an engineer. He has dedicated his life for the good cause of service, and now he is working as a senior engineer for Sathya Sai University for human excellence, which one of the unique university in our country at this point in time. Because I never come across a word like human excellence in any universities. I'm happy to know that he is working with the Sathya Sai University for human excellence. And also he holds a bachelor degree in civil engineering, master degree in structural engineering. Now he is parallelly pursuing his research work in the area of application of artificial intelligence in the construction, which is a unique combination of smart and smart engineering. And also he also worked as assistant professor in Nagarjuna Engineering College. I told he was my colleague also, and he has guided a lot of MTech projects also. He is the project lead to a project called Shiva, 153 feet height Lord Shiva statue, which is under construction. Construction at Sathya Sai Grama Muddenahallि, CHIKKABALLAPUR. Mr. Karthik Patel is an alumni from the Sathya Sai Institute He was inspired by the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, who has led many youngsters in the path of love and service. And also, I'm very happy, Karthik, to note the way you have given your biodata. I'm very honored to have you today, and I request you to take over the session. And also, I request all the participants mute your video and audio and follow the protocols. Any questions, please post in chat box, and all the questions will be taken at the end of the session, and interaction will be there at the end. Thank you once again to all of you. I welcome once again. I request Karthik Patel to take over the session.
Thank you, sir, for your kind introduction. And I'm very honored and humbled to follow your words. And whatever I am here today because of your guidance, for sure. There's no doubt about it. I'm also happy that my teacher, my professor, Sanat sir, is the moderator for this. Thank you so much, Sanat sir, for being very important guidelines in my engineering career. Thank you, sir. And today's topic, as we all know, it's smart cities. I'm going to briefly explain what exactly smart cities are and what is the need for smart city, what's the advantages, disadvantages, limitations, what is the issues that smart cities are coming up, and why is it required, how is it origin, what little here and there, because the concept of smart cities has come up very recently. So there is no proper course or structured way of learning or developing a smart city. Everybody are in trial and error method, and if every person defines a smart city in their own language, there's no definite definition that this exactly is smart city, like how we have a defined definitions, like what is concrete and what is a mixed design and all. So in that sense, I would like to take up and thank you all the participants for joining. From an engineering view, not as a developer of a smart city, but as an engineer, what should we know about smart city? Also, I would like to share a couple of points. And coming to my presentation, smart city. What is smart city in a simple words? A smart city is a designation given to a city that incorporates information and communication technology to enhance the quality and performance of urban services such as energy, transportation, and utility in order to reduce resource consumption, wastage, and overall cost. The main word smart comes because we adopt this information and communication technology, that is, might be any kind of software, it can be auto-driven, automated thing, and more of an autonomous thing without any human intervention. Work will continue to happen without any human and labor work. So for anything, if we have to make it a smart, we have to get into technology. For example, I'm wearing a watch. It's a smart watch. We have a regular watch too, which runs on a battery, which doesn't has so much of options like how smart watch this example as this example this watch has got. It shows the number of steps I walk, and when I get a message to my phone, the message is also transferred to my I can see in this. And when I jog, how many kilometers I have jogged, and when I go for a swim, how many laps of swim I have gone, how many calories I have burnt today. All these things can be shown in this smartwatch. So in this sense, how this smartwatch has come up, because a lot of R&D has happened, a lot of data analysis has happened, and they have come up with this software, this technology. So this smart watch has come into existence. In the similar fashion, the smart cities are no less, which are very upcoming and very interesting projects to work on, where I happen to visit Singapore couple of times, and there were smart city planning and smart cities work were happening, and I had stayed there for almost 2 weeks. I happened to visit couple of metro station, how they were construction underground metro station, wherein there is no ticket counter, there is no even for cleaning also. People are not there. Everything is automated. The machine is working on its own. It has been trained. It has been tuned where exactly it has to go, how, what and all it has to pick. It has been asked to do set of work by introducing this technology and information communication systems. Coming to the next slide. What exactly is smart city? Okay. So, smart governance, smart people, smart economy, smart living, smart environment, and smart mobility. When we take this smart apart, the rest all things whatever are happening in present scenario are same. Whether it might be governance, people, economy, the living, the lifestyle, the environment, or the mobility. When we add this smart, only then the efficiency, the ability, the increase in the effectiveness, all this comes in. Once we add smart to any word, what we expect is first the safety factor, then the efficiency factor, then the quality factors comes in. Then it has to be useful to all the common people to be more efficient and more effective in their day-to-day life. For example, smart governance. In nowadays, it has come in India too. We had fast tag, right? Where every time we used to pay, we used to stop, pay money, and get our permit, entry and exit, and then go. And there was a lot of time wastage in that. Then government introduced this fast tag. So after fast tag, we have a barcode reader which will automatically recognize the number of car and all those details, and it permits us, and we recharge the fast tag online. This is where the smart governance of the government comes in, we come to the smart. And Singapore is one step ahead. Why I'm mentioning Singapore again and again is it is the first smart city in the world which is fully equipped in all the area. In all the area means maybe it might be living, it might be mobility wise, environment wise, eco-friendly wise, economic wise. In all the aspects, Singapore has been the first smart city in this world to accomplish, and they have still developing so much, and they are much ahead of all other cities in the world. So coming back to this circle of smart governance, smart people, and what exactly smart people means. People who are really equipped with this communication and IT and software things. Like we have smart people can be defined as people who uses phone for maybe they may use for anything. It may be for purchases, online shopping. It can be for booking a taxi. It can be for booking an appointment with a doctor. It can be with anything. And that education part of the IT and software gives this smart word to to the people. And coming to the smart economy is nothing but earlier we used to have when we go for purchase, we used to take money from our home, or we used to go to we used to take money from home and get things and give the money to our wherever we buy things, whether it may groceries or anything from day to day, from groceries to clothes to shoes to lifestyle to vehicles to everything. But now we have come to this Beam app and Google Pay and Phone Pay and WhatsApp Pay, whatnot. All these smart economies are smart thing because which depends on the economy and which helps in the growth of economy is definitely a contribution of its smartness. Again, the smart, I would like to emphasize more. The smart has come only because of influence and application and usage of this IT. This is information technology, communication, and softwares, app-based things. So this smart economy has come into that, and a lot of investments are happening when we who are in from 25 to 30 years of age, we are starting talking about investments. We have started talking about company acquisitions. We are starting and shares and systematic investment plan and bonds and all these things. All this smart economy is definitely because of introduction of this IT and software, and we have been adopted to that. We got used to this and we have been using it very well. This is where the smartness has helped us in economic field and living to smart living. And I have a lot of things to say about smart living, definitely. Now, the living and lifestyle has been a very important factor in our day-to-day activity. With smartness, we have a sensor-based sensor-based lights where based on thermal sensing, it switch on and switch off. As soon as we enter into a room, lights are getting switched on and switched off, and automatic AC sensors, which helps us for day-to-day living, which makes us more comfortable. All this smartness has added to our life, and it has been coined as smart living. One more is coming to the smart environment, where there are countries where GPS and the GPS tracking SIMs are getting embedded in the plants, so that these trees are not taken off or are not cut off because of and are not damaged because of urbanization or industrial development or whatever. This has really helped us. And coming to the smart mobility, as I said, transportation. Now, and initially we used to call for an auto or call for that and this, and nowadays we just book an app and auto comes to our doorsteps. We book through an app like Uber and all things like that. Everything comes to our doorsteps and we move on. And even if we have to delivery, that is delivery of Zomato or any provisions, we book everything online. We have big one company, what is Amazon and all, they're making millions of dollars because of this smart mobility, which has been really helped during COVID times to most of our people. And this smart cities definitely helps us in economic activities and employmental opportunities and investment, as I told, investment and high quality of life. What does economic activities mean? As I said, we sit at a place and I can invest in foreign countries. I sit here and I can transfer money to my mother who is sitting 100 kilometers or 500 kilometers away from where I sit. This kind of economic activity has given a lot of transparency, and lot of other activities are also caught if we misuse this smart economic activities. This, and definitely employment opportunity, as we discussed just now. Lot of transportation and Uber and Zomato based, all those things have helped lot of people for creating of employment opportunities. And as I said, investment, we are investing in lot of platform through these smart apps and smart things only. And definitely because of all these things, our quality of life has really increased. This is what just a gist of a smart, which has really made a lot of difference in our day-to-day life. Coming to next, what are the components of smart cities? These are the components of smart cities where it can be a few people are defining these as smart components of smart city. That is adequate water supply. Adequate means it should be sufficient, at the same time constant, without any break in between, like earlier how it used to happen. So adequate water supply and electricity supply, sanitation including solid waste management, efficient urban mobility and public transport, affordable housing, especially for poor, that is low cost housing it might be, or a house which is built by using local materials it might be, and and IT connectivity and digitalization also is an important and most important component of a smart city. And when it comes to IT connectivity and digitalization, I would share one of my experience when I'd been to Singapore, that I happened to miss the metro train, and I didn't know where to go, because I never had any opportunity to call anybody over there. So I went to a police, and they helped me. They told me in one sentence, go, and there is a chaos. There's a digital pad. You just go and see where exactly your people are, and you'll get a message from them. So next station, they reach next station, and they sent a message to me in this station, to a common platform where this is used particularly for this kind of things. So this is where the IT connectivity and digitalization has helped. Then definitely good governance, and especially e-governance. Yesterday, e-governance, when I talk about e-governance, yesterday I happened to meet our principal secretary for urban development under Department of Urban Development. And they have a software called e-office, which all the papers, all the files and requisition letters from various people, or everything is e-office. That is, all these applications and all these are used, and we can really track where exactly our file is lying, and what is the condition of my requisition given to this. And sustainable environment. Definitely, we are talking a lot of save soil and save environment nowadays. And with these smart ideas and smart technology, we can definitely help in what sustainable. We can develop a very nice sustainable environment. And coming to next, safety and security of the citizen, as particularly women, child, and other elders, are really a very big and important component of a smart city. If we can dial to the 911 and it is directly going to police station, and they come wherever we are. This is because this infrastructure of IT and software which are used, and apps which are used, are really helping, and which are major contribution to the concept of smart city. And definitely, no doubt, health and education, which is being the most priority and important aspect of all our lives, are being hugely benefited by this concept of smart city, where this we can just dial, and they come and they answer to our health issues, or if it is emergency, they always take to our hospital and do the needful. And this is one of the very rough smart city 3D model, which was created for an example, where we have smart building links through regional EMF, that is the automated based self electricity generating surface cladding systems. When we have mega solar things which are used for street lights, and which are used for even heating hot water and things like that. When smart housing, biomass fuel, EV cars, sharing, and electric bus, smart and medium smart buildings, and multi-energy stations offshore. These are very small and a rough idea how can a smart city can be. And next generation of electricity, which depends mostly, smart city also depends on a lot of R&D and things. And four most important pillars of smart city. These are the most important and critical areas where if these things are taken care, definitely we can progress towards this developing of a smart city. The pillars of smart cities are social infrastructure, physical infrastructure, institutional infrastructure, and economic infrastructure. Definitely our social and physical infrastructure, institutional economic infrastructure will help us in economic activity, employment activity, and investment opportunity, which togetherly lead us to the better quality of life. Like when we come to the social infrastructure, where we like parks and roads and things like that, where a lot of social activities are happening. These are the more common point which are crowded and which has to be planned very well. So if this is taken care, then definitely which will help us more in refining and defining and developing a better smart city. Then physical infrastructure. And physical infrastructure when it comes with this under physical infrastructure, there are a lot of other infrastructure, but just to say a couple of them, like lighting, like it may be waste management infrastructure, waste dumping and recycling infrastructure, and things like that. And when it comes to institutional infrastructure, it is nothing but education based. It might be any service based infrastructure. We have to really smarten these infrastructure, which will help us in going forward. And definitely economic infrastructure, the whole thing, the foundation, the fundamental of all these things are economics, that is finance and budget. And when this economic infrastructure is planned very well, infrastructure per se doesn't mean physical thing. Infrastructure, economic infrastructure also means the proper planning of how the economic fund flow, or how much the government is investing, how the private sectors are investing for the betterment of the city, or the smart city, or the urbanization. All these four factors play a very important role. If these four factors are taken care in a very productive and planned manner, then the economic activity, employment, investment, all these things are taken care, and ultimately quality of life is taken care. So as we all know, every problem has got a solution. That is why it is called as a problem. So when these problems tends to be smart, definitely all the solutions which are smart solutions to the problem, automatically everything will be under smart condition, that we can really coin it as a smart development or the smart city. For example, e-governance and citizen service, where I just now I mentioned that the government has moved into a lot of e-office and a lot of software-based developed apps, and lot of things are happening. Approvals, initially paper is to go from table to table. Now it's not anymore. Everything email, fax based, all digitization based. So when we come to the e-governance and citizen service, it might be public information, and it might be related to grievances, or electronic service delivery, citizen engagement, cities ears and eyes, all this, and video crime monitoring. All these things are smart solution for various problems of, it might be public, or it might be any other services, it might be crime based. Everything is taken care because of this smartness, which really add to the system and make it more effective and efficient. When we come to the waste management, the waste of energy and fuel is also answered by a lot of smart solutions, and can be answered, is also answered and can be answered. A lot of R&D is happening in these lines. And waste to the compost, how this waste can be used as so how this waste can be converted into compost, and wastewater to be treated. All this STP based automatic sewage treatment plant, where nowadays even this sewage STP plants are getting used. And to be frank, even in Singapore, all the sewage treated water is used for drinking, which is approved by American Institute of Water Purifiers. They drink the sewage treatment because Singapore is a small country. Why I'm repeatedly telling Singapore is one thing I've personally visited and I've personally experienced. And more than that, it's a perfect example for a smart city. And it's a complete smart city. That's why I take this example, and a lot of things are coming from there too. And this particular aspect, we really have to appreciate the level of the commitment and the intensity in what they have developed the STP. So this water is getting recycled and used, because if they want 1 liter of water, they have to import from either from Malaysia or nearest other country like Bali or Indonesia. So Malaysia being very close, they import everything from Malaysia. But nowadays they are also producing their own, recycling this water. They're using it for drinking. So that is the level of purification and technology that they have used. Then recycling and reduction of carbon dioxide waste. This is where the smart solutions are adopted under waste management. When we come to the water management, smart meters and management. So in metropolitan cities, we all know that they have introduced a meter where the composition of water is, or what's the consumption of water is recorded, and then based on that, bills are raised automatically. And leakage identification and preventive maintenance can be taken care, and are taken care by under waste management. And water quality monitoring can be achieved by these smart solutions. And when you come to the energy management, smart meters and management, renewable source of energy, energy efficient and green buildings. These are three important areas where smart solutions are being used, and good amount of results are achieved by this smart solution in the area of energy management. When we come to the urban mobility, definitely no doubt about it, we still have to improve. Recently, when we heard about PM Shri Narendra Modi sir's speech, he wants to show Bangalore a different city in next 40 months. That is mainly as central government has invested 38 lakh crore of project, particularly in Karnataka, only for 38,000 crores, particularly for mobility and transportation, where all this smart parking and intelligent traffic management. When we come to intelligent traffic management, all of us must be definitely aware of it. All the CC camera would have trapped our car number. If by mistake we would have parked in non-parking area, and next time when we get caught, we will be paying the same amount of last time and this time together. This is where the smart intelligent traffic management is getting used, and integrated with multi-mode transport also. Nowadays, a lot of air booking, particularly where there are a lot of flights traveling from different corner of the world, which a lot of people have to travel, are traveling now post-COVID. And all this integrated multi-modal transport, particularly in air traffic, they're using a lot because of the ticket booking and alignment of the scheduling, basically scheduling of the flights. And when it comes to, there are some other things like telemedicine and teleeducation. We all know during COVID time how this telemedicine was, and teleeducation, that is online consultancy and online education platforms were used, and apps like Byju's and Akash and other online based platforms have made a lot of took a lot of advantage of this, particularly because they used this teleeducation platform by using this smart solution of application of it might be AI, software based, or other platforms. And incubation and trade facility centers are also there for smart solutions. And definitely much and more important is skill development centers, where lot of government activities are happening by this skill development centers by applying smart solutions, which will enhance the knowledge of our present generation going forward. And just to say, the concept of smart cities originated at the time when the entire world was facing one of the worst economic crises. In 2000 here, world was going under a lot of crises, and this is where IBM and Cisco, which are the American-based companies, which really came together and they had a lot of other cities like digital city and a lot of other cities they had coined. But this particular smart city, particularly IBM was very instrumental in this coining the term and also planning for this smart city. Being smart or being just a city, the term smart city was coined in the United States of America inside the business environment of two corporations, that is IBM and Cisco. And IBM stands for International Business Machine, and Cisco stands for Communication and Industry Security Corporation, which mainly leads into a software-based platform which gives a smart solutions, which was very primitive in stage. So these two companies came together and they thought they want to develop a smart city. Idea of smart city was coined, and is their mind baby that they want to develop this city, and it was very vague in those days, 2008. Now it is getting more defined and more structured and more education oriented based system when compared to the development of a smart city. And actually, frankly speaking, when was the first smart city was built after this IBM and Cisco they came up in the European country, where European country was very wealthy then, and they had no idea of how to spend the money. So a country called Santreda, which is located in the northern part of Spain, where the first smart city was introduced, and the amount of the total project cost was around 500,000 euros. That is approximately worth 50 lakh crores of Indian rupees, 50 lakh crores. In those days, they invested in this country, and this is the which is quite a successful smart city, I can say, where all this whatever we discussed just now were in place, and they introduced it, whether it might be from garden to taxi booking to sensors to security to the waste management to traffic management. In all these areas, they had introduced this smart principle of smartness by adopting IT and communication systems. Going forward, that was the world scenario. When we come to the Indian scenario, definitely when we see Gujarat, at present condition being the Gujarat, that is the first smart city in India, which has become the manufacture hub of India, but at the present condition, Indore is recent, that is 10 days back, Indore was declared as the best smart city of all amongst all the other smart cities. And we all know, in the year 2014, central government launched this smart city, 100 smart city and 500 future smart city program, where Atal Bihari Vajpayee Fund for Urban Development came forward and contributed lakhs of crores for this development of smart cities. And we know there are some smart city mentioned in future. I'll be explaining those things also. And Gujarat was coined as the first smart city in India, and because of which this was the feather in the cap of PM that he was elected and nominated as a PM candidate too. There are some fundamentals which we have to understand, basics, when we have to explain to other people what is the advantage, is it really needed, what are the disadvantage, is it needed, do we really need smart city? In these three verticals, that is advantage, disadvantage, and need of smart city. I'm going to spend some time on this. Now, coming to the advantage of smart city. So definitely more effective data-driven decision making. What do we understand from more effective and data-driven decision making? For example, more effective. Just now, in the case of transportation, I explained. Initially, we used to wait for bus hours together, and then we catch hold of bus, and then we used to go. But nowadays we can plan our day such a way that I'm going to book my taxi at 10 o'clock. It will say that exactly at 10:10 I'll be at the place where you are. So we can really plan our day and be more effective. This effectiveness, the principle of this effectiveness can be applied across all the sectors and all the situation in our day-to-day activities. And when we come to the data-driven decision making, lot of data are collected. And when these data are collected, by developing a artificial based automated system, decision makings are very easy. Definitely, when we this particular advantage of a smart city is in the area of health sector, where a lot of health related issues are getting addressed because of this data driven decision making. For example, if they have collected quite a few history of a patient, they would have made a decision that can give a decision, and that can give a decision and give us a proper decision on what exactly this patient is suffering from, and also for the diagnosis of the patient. And enhanced citizen and government engagement. Citizen, as I said, there are some just a small example I had given where this our government related works, like we have to give an application and follow up with things in which table it is, in which section. But some portion is still there, but majority portion has moved for digitization or app based things, software based. So this definitely enhances a good relation between the citizen and the government. And safe and safer communities. So when we come to the safer community point, the smart cities are making our lives more easier and friendly by very good safety platforms. How we know if we are in any problem, if we dial, then there is an answer from the police. If we can dial to a fire extinguisher, there is a response from fire extinguisher at the time of emergency. A worst case, if we call up our friends and tell, at least living communities can be safer. As a community living as a gated community where only securities are security automated security gates are being there, where only the mentioned car numbers and mentioned identities only can be entered into this safer community kind of living. And reduced environmental footprints. When it comes to reduced environmental footprint, that is nothing but when we talk about this afforestation and destroying of plants for the urbanization. Definitely this smart city planning would be very helpful, where we know in this particular area we are not going to construct any plants. We will be dedicated this area exclusively for as a park or as a green area, green zone area for permanently. So improved transportation, no doubt about it, which is the most important area where smart cities are getting benefited by transportation. Increased digital equity. That is when I explained about the shares and investments. That definitely these smart cities are highly influenced and are at great help by using this in the area of digital equities and new economic development opportunities. No doubt about it. We have a lot of economic development opportunity because of this smart cities and efficient public utility. So definitely the smart cities are helping us in a way to efficiently use this public utility places. How do we use it? How do we automate it? How do it can be planned in an efficient manner? It can be used multiple folds. When there are also some of the disadvantage of smart cities,
anything on this earth, either wherever there is advantage, there is definitely disadvantage. But how we look at things are very, very important, maybe for our lifestyle or in any other scenario in our lives. So coming to the disadvantage, some of the disadvantages of smart cities would be business models to roll out smart technology are still underdeveloped. So in India, particularly in India, these business models are developing the smart technology, which are really expensive and high in investment. So definitely this is one of the big disadvantages. So only government is able to invest in this. None of the public sectors or private sectors are not in a position to not in a position. They're not interested yet to invest in this technology. Even if coming to second point, even if money was available, most of the smart technology are still in pre-commercial stage. That is, still they are doing a lot of R&D and trial and error method and testing it out. And cities lack technology related skills and capacity. That is, once this technology is developed, there are not enough people to take up this technology, use this and guide people, or use this technology in day-to-day basis. That is basically a skilled persons. But the present generation is such that they have started. Most of them have started this couple of years. They have started their online classes where they are already introduced into app-based learning and internet-based learning and IT and communication things. They are exposed to good amount. Then cities find it difficult to work across departments and borders. This is one of the disadvantages because we are very poor at adaptation. For any change, there will be definitely a resistance. So it would be very difficult to change our mindset and get adjusted to this kind of smart technology, which will really help us in future. There are concerns about data privacy and security. There's no doubt about it. Frankly speaking, none of our data are that most of our data are not that private and secured. Otherwise, definitely one country would have not attacked on the other country's government and legal documents. So when compared to the data privacy and security, it is little on the disadvantage side only. When it comes to the councils and business and other involved parties do not fully understand the value and benefit because they don't have the education and the background and understanding like all of us what we have now. Presently we are getting exposure and we are getting learning. We are getting an opportunity to learn and discuss these things. So we can we know the value and we understand things. When we compare with the previous and other older generations. So these parties do not fully understand value and benefit with the data can generate. It makes it difficult to realize the business case for implementation. This is the reason why the implementation is another important step of smart city, which is really very skilled and very interested and passionate people will only be able to do this. And coming to the one of the last disadvantages would be its adaptation requires knowledge on different technology in order to use it. Without training, people find it irrelevant to their daily lives and difficulties. As I said, unless until we have that knowledge or learning, have an understanding when we get understanding is when we have really knowledge. Only when we get knowledge, when we really get into the details and try to explore and know the concepts to ourselves. So unless until we know we have the proper knowledge of this, and we'll not be using the concept of smart city to its full extent. So these are some of the, as I said, there were 100 smart city project which was launched in the year 2014, and few of our Karnataka were also there in Karnataka-based cities, that is Davangere, Shimoga, Tumkur, and Mangalore, Belgavi, Hubli Dharwad. And Hubli Dharwad has completed more or less 60% of its project plan, and all the infrastructure is really good at when we compare with other smart cities. Hubli Dharwad smart city things are really good. These are some of the smart cities of Karnataka. And as I said, do we really need? Is there any need for smart city? Do we really need smart city? So these are the 4 things which, when I was preparing my slide, I really thought about it. We should discuss this, and we should be able to, we should be in a position to explain to others why we need these smart cities. Are they really important? Are we not over enthusiastic or really unpractical about it? But going forward, by 2050, that is another 30 years down the line, 70% of India's population would be in urban areas. So as of now, we have 1.4 million, that is 140 crore population. By the time we reach 2050, our population will definitely cross 170 crore, that is 1.7 in the next 30 years. Because ours, being the youngest nation in the world, our population is going to definitely cross 170 crores as per the latest survey by one of the very well-known company by America, that is MIC, company which did the audit and the survey, and this is what the results and the numbers which they have given. So taking those data into consideration, these are the 4 points which we need to discuss on need for the smart city. So as I told just now, population increase. There is a huge population increase, and the density of the population has also increased, particularly in urban areas. So in order to improve the lifestyle, in order to solve the problems of the large people with more effective, efficient, and productive way, we need to adopt this technology and this work, which will definitely help us providing a lot of services to this increased population. And all these populations are because most of them are migrating from the rural population to they're migrating to urban area. This is definitely, as I said, that by 2050, 70% would be there. And the reason for this movement from rural population moving to urban area is for better healthcare and education and employment opportunity. These are the 3 important things where people are concerned about. One is health, one is education, and employment opportunity. So these are the important things why rural population is moving towards urban area. So because of these 3 reasons, they're moving. And once this rural population move to urban population definitely is going to get increased, no doubt about it. Once the population increases, there are so many problems where we need to give a smart solutions. So this smart cities would be a very important and critical area going forward. That's why there are 100 smart cities which are planned across India, and it's still, I would say, it's still a trial and testing method which is going on. People are not still educated on the usage of the technology and things like that. But now the present generation is getting educated based on these things. So these are the 4 important, not 4, these are the only one point, that is population increase. And all other factors depends on this population increase. This is the only one population factor which is the very need for the development of a smart city. So as I said, even in Singapore, which is little smaller than our Bangalore district, between both urban and rural, which is 45 kilometers, both the ways, 45 kilometers from east to west, and 45 kilometers is the north to south. That whole is the small Singapore island. and lot of people are going there for lot of other education, for education, a better education opportunity, for better work opportunities, and they are also cutting on income. Income of people to their national, to their country, but they are also still need of people, quality people. So they are the first city, first country to adopt this concept of smart city. At the end of this session, I would like to present a 3-minute video, which is only based on Singapore city, Singapore smart city. At the end of this video, I would like to show. And by this time, we would have definitely known the what are the advantage, what are the difference between the smart city and normal city. I need not say, but still, for the sake, I would like to just mention about the differences between the smart city and normal city. And when it comes to smart city, develop facilities with the new medical technology in hospital and dispensary. When it comes to the normal city, poor facility of hospital and dispensary with low grade technology and medical system. I have a personal experience in this too. In 2011, when I was in my village, because of doctor could not give a proper guidance to my mom when I was really young. So they told to please take them to a big hospital. That was the sentence in 2011. So from my village, by the time they took my father, he was no more. But doctor with a better facility and better knowledge would have definitely saved a life. But definitely this can't happen unless until we have a smart solutions and smart city adaptation, principle of smart cities. And next is upgraded municipal schools with new ideas of teaching and learning process. When the old normal cities has old process of teaching and learning with bad quality facilities. Definitely education is one of the, as I said, health, education, and employment. These are the 3 major factors which influence all the people under the sun right now, all the human beings on this earth. So this is the second thing, that is that is a good education. Definitely will be more, which is better in smart city based platform instead of normal city. And when we come to the smart city, again, segregation of garbage, that is the waste management, is definitely better than normal city, no doubt about it. That we are going to recycle. In normal city, what do? They just go dump it and burn it out, and a lot of air pollution and soil pollution will definitely happen. And next one is rehabilitation of needy people with full government help and concern. Definitely smart, that is a lot of housing plans and projects are happening in smart city, because these people are moving into, a lot of rural people are moving into urban area. In normal cities, they're not able to do much. And roads and transportation is very important factor for development of any country, where connectivity and transport is very important, so that lot of trade happens and lot of quick movement of material, it may be raw material or finished material can reach in place to place. And these are some of the few differences. Few of the companies which are working on smart cities. This Hawaii Investment and Holdings, this is a China-based company. The big company which has got almost 5 lakh square feet of IT park in China, which is the biggest IT park in China, which is everything is smart. It is all the roadways, all the it might be vehicles inside the campus to move for all the employees. It might be health facility. It might be anything for that matter. It is one of the big company which has been investing. Then definitely, as I mentioned, Cisco and IBM, which is the first companies to invest on this concept of smart city, and they are the very founding fathers to coin the smart city. And Microsoft and Oracle, which are the trillion-dollar companies, which are investing on these things. And one company from France, Schindler, which we would have heard, that is one of the Schindler is our very famous lift manufacturing company, which is a France-based company. It's also getting into a lot of automation and smart solutions for the smart cities. And as I said, this is my last slide, and I would like to present 3 minutes video to you, which is Singapore video. Is it audible?
No,
Audio is not there. Okay, I think audio issue is there. No issue. We are able to see the video.
no, you just share with the audio. Share your computer audio. Exit. When you are sharing it, you just click on share with computer audio. Share the audio also.
Digital output to micro. Leave computer.
No, it is not possible like that. You just go back to share screen. Go back to share screen.
Yes.
Once you click the share screen, there join with audio.
Yeah, yes, you told me, sorry.
Yes. It is audible. You can. Presentation mode.
Full screen.
There is one more video, sir, I would like to present. There is also 3 minutes video. You're getting it, sir? You're getting my screen?
Hit to open, I think.
This is old video only.
You have to close this and open you.
Hmm.
Karthik, anything to show?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead. No issue.
Sanitation and solid waste management, efficient urban mobility, e-governance.
Just how smart is
Are
your
you able to
city?
hear me, sir?
Chances are it's getting smarter by the year. Many governments around the globe are racing to infuse technology into just about every aspect of its city's operations. And I mean every part.
Including public transportation, IT connectivity, water and power supply, sanitation and solid waste management, efficient urban mobility, e-governance, and citizen
Is it audible?
participation.
And it does this using every buzzword imaginable,
Audible.
from big data to the Internet of Things.
So how does a smart city work? Let's look at 3 examples.
Here in Singapore, the city-state might be the gold standard of the most extensive effort to collect data on daily living.
The government is now deploying systems that can tell when people are smoking in prohibited zones or littering from high-rise housing.
Singapore launched its own Smart Nation program in 2014 and will add more cameras like these so the government can effectively monitor crowd density, cleanliness of public spaces, and even the exact movement of every locally registered vehicle.
Much of the data it's collecting will be fed into an online platform called Virtual Singapore that gives the government access to how the city is functioning in real time. It could help the government predict how crowds might react to an explosion in a shopping mall, or how infectious disease might spread. Over in Dubai, more than 50 smart services from 22 government entities have been rolled out as part of the government's Smart Dubai initiative. Using the government-provided app Dubai Now, you can do things like pay a speeding ticket, which likely captured you on a public camera and then emailed you the ticket directly. You can also use the same app to pay your electric bill, call a taxi, track a package you sent to your friend, find the nearest ATM, renew your vehicle registration, track the visa status of a relative, and report a violation to the Dubai police. Now head over to Barcelona, where one research firm estimates the city will save billions of dollars a year in energy costs just by installing smart systems like these. Number 1, smart streetlights. Public lighting that adapts and dims when there's no activity but brightens up when sensors detect motion. The second, parking sensors. Instead of driving in circles looking for a spot to park, drivers can get real-time information on an app which locates free parking spots. Sensors on the street curb use lighting and metal detectors to know if a parking spot or loading area is occupied. And finally, garbage sensors, which are actually compact drop-off containers which have a vacuum network through pipes which sucks up trash below ground. The automated waste collection not only lowers noise pollution from garbage trucks, but also lowers costs and keeps bad odor away. Juniper Research estimates that by 2021, cities will save nearly $19 billion by making their cities smart.
But of course, to save money, sometimes you have to spend it first. The global smart city market is estimated to attract $15 billion by 2021, and that's just for software. So now companies from Microsoft to Cisco are aiming for a piece of it. In Singapore, Upton Saidi, CNBC.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great
So this is what I wanted to show. And
Thank you, Engineer Karthik Patel. You have presented very well and you have shown what is meant by smart cities, advantages and disadvantages and need of the smart cities. So India is also in the line of smart cities because we are much happy that I think all are in good progress. Even I am from Tumkur. Tumkur is also a smart city. I'm able to see the good roads now. Previously, there was no good road networks. Very pathetic situation is coming in corporation. Now even the piped gas in Tumkur extension, they are getting piped gas. There is no question of booking cylinders, waiting for somebody to get the cylinder. See, actually everything available through piped only. This is a very interesting information, and all Nirmiti Kendra engineers, you are all working under many smart cities also. Hope there also there is a Nirmiti Kendras are there. See, actually with the technology driven planning aspects is required. Even I'm happy to share the IBM as a Center of Excellence on Smart Cities in Rajarajeshwari Engineering College, because where I was worked a few years. So actually all our students are trained civil engineers, mechanical engineers, because all type of engineers are required to manage smart cities, not only civil engineers, even computer science engineers, electrical engineers, all engineers actually should be interfaced. So what are the various aspects of management? He has mentioned clearly water management, wastewater management, energy management, solid waste management, and also the automation with respect to all the amenities required for happy living, quality of life in the cities. You presented very well. If you have any questions, I will take few questions. Any questions from the audience participants? Any questions?
Hello.
Please go. Introduce yourself and ask the questions.
Sir, I'm Arjun from CMTI.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question. First of all, the presentation was good. Sir, when smart cities are constructed, why, especially if you see, few people migrate from villages to cities for better educations. Am I right?
Yeah.
And medical and other facilities in cities.
And also employment opportunities also.
for employment opportunities also.
Hmm.
But do you think they will follow the rules in the cities, which in villages there are no rules and regulations in India especially, but when they migrate to cities, will they able to follow the rules of the smart city?
Hmm. See,
Because they
think,
don't have enough education, right? So they are in Japan. All if you see, they'll educate from the class from a small class. But in India, it is not possible, no, sir.
see, I have an
Yeah.
answer. I think the Karthik Patel substantiate. See, when the mobile app has introduced, see, no cashless transaction is going very big way. Google Pay and the Phone Pay. Even many villages, even small vendors in the street is able to use it. We go to coconut seller, he is putting QR codes. See how smart they are doing business. There is
Very
no,
true.
there is a cashless transaction everywhere. Even I am the person to get this phone pay, Google Pay at the least. Recently, I got it. I know what are the advantages. Even all villages, they are having a mobile, smartphones are available, and they are doing a lot of business, and they are able to access the information. So, what the information they can gather. See, only thing is interest is important, and the qualification or any degree is not required for managing things. See, anybody is interested to involve, take the technology available, apps available. See, mobile technology has given a big boom for all of us. Even nobody is going for banks now. Nobody is going for anything to bank, everything getting online. Even you can see what is the balance you want to check, you want to transfer, even you can transfer a major amount more than 1 lakh through even an app only, app based, is it not? The all village people are educated now. See, now the education we have to import, that is the only requirement. Still, it has to reach. I too agree. There is a time required to reaching. Once it has been implemented, everybody will follow. Is it not? It is a question of time of learning, adopting, and implementing. And we cannot say that India rural base is more. We cannot stop using technology-driven planning or any facilities to create. This is my views. I think Engineer Karthik will give some what
Definitely, sir.
Karthik I told.
I 100% agree with you, sir. As you said, for anything for us to adopt or change from one thing to other thing is very difficult. So it's all depends on our mindset and our interest. As you said, our interest also. As you said, even a 10 rupee or 5 rupee flower shop lady is also having a QR code now. They are also having a cashless transaction. So with the present condition, with the flow, definitely people are getting adjusted, and the things they're making the simpler. Actually, our lives are getting simpler because of these applications and use of this introduction of this smart solutions. So.
So even I saw recently BMTC buses, they put a QR code. You need not buy ticket. Because the conductor and customer is always clashing for the changes. So QR code is adopted. You can take a daily ticket, you can take current tickets, you can take monthly pass. So BMTC is the always implementing all technologies for user friendly only. Even 10 rupees, you can take a QR code, you can show that mobile, it is accepted. See, there is no currency printing is saving, even black marketing. See, a lot of advantages, the indirect benefits, direct benefits, intangible benefits, tangible benefits. Always we have to go because see, India is the biggest democratic country and population wise, and we should be very smart compared to others also. If you take Dubai, 1960, they are nowhere. Just you compare how many years, how they are now. Do you think they are all smart people? They adopted the technology. See, there is a mindset required to adopt the technology. Slowly, everybody is adopting it. Even in the olden days, gas cylinder usage also they are having a fear. It may blast, burn, all those things. Now gas is coming through pipelines. To take Tumkur is a small city, 6 to 8 lakhs population. So all the residents are given a piped gas. It is actually it is a very useful advantage for the citizens because they need they have unlimited. There is no booking, no agencies, directly metered piped gases. See, it will be adopted everywhere. if time comes, even many more cities, he mentioned 500 plus cities going to become smart. Any other questions? Hello. And also I request all the participants, please fill the Google forms. Mr. Sanat Kumar has shared. Anybody want any certifications or attendance purpose, we'll take from details. And if any no questions are there, we can close the meeting. Any questions from anybody? Sanat Kumar?
No, sir. In chat box, nothing is there.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I thank you once again. The speaker of the day, Engineer Karthik Patel, he has presented very well and they have shown what is meant by smart city. And we are all going to enjoy the Mysore, Bangalore, even Tumkur, Belagaum. Many are smart cities are coming up in Karnataka. I think all 6 to 8 cities are coming up. You must visit and see that. As a civil engineer, I think hope that all are civil engineers. You must have a habit of learning advanced technology-driven based planning. Even these things you have to learn because you are nowhere lesser than IT people. IoT technology. There's one more speaker is going to address IoT applications in construction. Even I'm happy to say that Engineer Karthik is doing a PhD in the artificial intelligence in the area of planning of cities, planning of buildings. I am his research guide, co-guide also. I'm very happy to inform that he has selected a very good topic. And also he is involving one statue coming up in Muddenahallli, Sathya Sai, 153 feet height. So he is the designer, he is the consultant for that, he is in charge of the structure. And also happy to share that tomorrow's speaker is going to address all of you wastewater management. Lot of wastewater is generated in all the municipalities, but we don't know how to manage that. What is the revenue you can generate from wastewater management? The speaker is a retired chief engineer from BWSSB and he is a consultant. His age is 70 plus. See, the civil engineer, there is no retirement. I told many platforms. Civil engineers, there is no retirement. All other engineers going to retire after 40 or 50, 60. Civil engineers never retired. If you have a knowledge, skills, see, still he is a consultant for Gujarat state and also the Lucknow. He is rendering technology aspects with respect to wastewater management. Because I am also an Indian Waterworks fellow member, we are interacted during our AGM meeting. Then I requested, sir, you can give one lecture on wastewater management because all our Nirmiti Kendras are coming with the municipal and cities, small cities. They don't know how they are managing wastewater. You can start with basics and only he is going to address how to generate a revenue. See, there is a revenue model generation with respect to wastewater that is going to address. I request all of you tomorrow, there is a lecture, you can join and enjoy his lecture. Thank you once again to all of you. If there is no other questions or queries, we'll close this meeting.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It is my pleasure because and also I need one more lecture on Shiva statue because I know that you have designed the statue. Next we'll have one online. Huh?
It was my MTech thesis when you were my HOD there.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to present it, sir.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that I explained the suite.
No, I will make use of your this one. Very few classes required. I will talk to you later.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, Sanat Kumar, for the supporting online. Karthik, he is only the online coordinator of all programs. This is the almost 16th program he is coordinating. First phase 13, second phase 13.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you all the participants for your interest shown with a good strength. Thank you once again to all of you.
Thank you.